Good evening, Sword Family. Going to be talking tonight about some different Asian bands and musicians. We're going to go beyond just Chinese tonight. A little bit different than things we've done in the past, but I found that music is one of those things that really kind of brings people together, and I really enjoy introducing people to bands that they've never heard of, songs they've never heard of, and just letting people experience things outside of their normal experience. A couple months back, I did a stream about the connection between music and martial arts. And I don't remember if I mentioned any of the bands or musicians that I'm going to be talking about tonight, but when I'm practicing forms or just, playing around with this guy here, there's almost always music playing. And some of the things that I talk about tonight will be some of those things that will be playing while I'm practicing. But before we get into the music, I have 35 comments to go through. So let's look through those. And very first through the door is my one and only patron, Joe Bachman. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Joe. Nice to see you here. And Foxy greets Joe. How are you doing tonight, Foxy? Went to the rock show earlier. Yes, we did. It's been a good day. Rock show was in concert or shiny rock type show. Yeah, it was shiny rocks. Shiny rocks, the other type, too many people. Yeah. I haven't been to an actual, rock concert since my senior year in high school when I went and saw Aerosmith as a graduation present. And there's Carl. Me too, Foxy, not a fan of crowds. Hello, everyone. Hello, Carl. And there's Dan. I'm glad Dan is here. I really hope that Dan especially checks out some of these bands because they're really good. And there is our Kitty. Evening, everyone. Evening, Kitty. Hello, Dan, Carl, and of course, Kitty. Everyone ready to be introduced to new music? I hope so. Sure. Good. Awesome. Picked up several new shiny things from my collection, and so did I. Carl thinks it's cool. Only problem will be which bits to make into new jewelry to sell and which ones to keep. Yeah, that happens. Pretty funny that he's doing a show on music the same day you guys went to the rock show. I wondered. Actually, it wasn't. I had this idea 2 weeks ago. That was completely by accident. All right, yeah. Might have been. No, it really wasn't. It's completely, it just happened that way. Evening, all evening, Trey. Good to see you here. Also, the only person that has bought one of my shirts. If I can sell, 8 or 9 more, I might be able to afford one of my own damn pieces of merch. That'd be nice. Foxy greeting Trey. Carl says hello to all that I missed. Might not chat much. Overused my arm while cleaning gutters and reaching for the keyboard. Ow, yeah. Yeah, take it easy. My right arm is still messed up from 3 days ago, and I don't even really know what I did. Hey, everyone. Hello, Aunt Donna. Nice. Waiting for the Aleve to take effect. Yeah, sometimes it takes 20 minutes, half an hour. Foxy greets Donna. Hear about it in here with Mindu. Well, you know, we tend to keep our injuries a little, yeah. Didn't hurt that much until 20 minutes ago. Well, that's probably a good thing. Time for music. Yes. Joe is looking forward to music. Good. And there is our young friend, Alec. Hi, everyone. Hello, Alec. Glad that you stopped by here tonight. And Trey greets Alec. Donna greets Alec. Alec greets Trey and Donna. Now all we need are Nick and Dawn for usual suspects to be together. Yeah. We'll see. Hey, Alec, good to see you. It's always good to see everyone here. Time to say don't forget to like and share, everyone. Yes, I am awful at that, but at least someone in the comments is always going to say it for me, so I don't worry about it too much. Alec's been working with the buffer and footwork. I've had music blasting in the background, annoying my neighbors. Hey, I have a window right here that most of the spring, most summer evenings, and a little bit in the early fall, that window's open. The window in our second bedroom is open. I have annoyed multiple people with a lot of the music that I'm going to be talking about here today. So, yeah. Metal, of course. Gotta be. And Donna greets me. Yes. Hello to me. Neighbors blast music outside till 3 a.m. We have quiet hours in all the apartments surrounding us, but that doesn't always make a difference. There's a basketball court right over there-ish at the other complex, and kids will be out there at 10, 11 o'clock at night in the dark because there's not a light in the basketball court. They'll be in there in the dark with boom boxes playing rap and shitty music. So sometimes I'll do a little revenge play every once in a while. And during summer, of course. And since we talked about it, and they are rocks, I can show off some of the things I picked up from the rock show before we actually get started to going into the music. That, we can get it to focus a little better. Come on. There we go. That is a desert rose. I wanted a piece of this since the first rock show I saw them at years ago. Those are incredibly cool. I love those. We have, come on, a picture jasper. I love picture jasper. This one, they called a porcelain jasper. And I picked it up because, let's see if we can, come on. If you look, it looks like a beach. Let's see if I can get it in a little bit in the light here. You can see the water with a little bit of the surf up here and some beach. A little red rock cliff right there. That's a cool piece. Not sure what that one is. Just a raw chunk of something. And then we have this one. I went back to this table probably 5 times. It's called a Super 7 or a Melody Stone. And it has 7 different kinds of crystals all in one piece. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to catch it. Because we need to have... Let's see if I can do it with this. Now, a little bit. You can see it's got some smoky quartz in there. Got regular quartz in there. Amethyst in there. I really, really, really like that piece. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. I might just stick some of them in my pocket with all my other pocket rocks and just carry them around. I might put this desert rose and probably the melody stone are probably going to go on my altar back there. I might see if we can get maybe the picture jasper wrapped. Yeah. Trey thinks they're awesome. I think they're awesome too. I want to try and get a really good picture of this Super 7 because when you get the light just right, you can see just a perfect line of each individual stone inside the one crystal. But taking pictures with the light source, behind the object that you're picturing, doesn't always work very well. Pretty? Yes, they are. Dan says, my dad collected rocks with fossils embedded in arrowheads. Foxy picked up a piece of amber. I have a really small amber bead that used to be attached to one of my old pendants. And I just haven't found a way to connect it to this one yet. But she picked up a piece of amber and I was holding it up to light and there's something small in one of the bottom corners of it. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something in there. Amazing looking stones. They really are. We go to the rock show every year and usually she comes back with a pocket full of stuff and I'll get one or two things. This is the first time where we've literally come home with equal things. I have 5 pieces. She has 5 pieces. I pick up a few bits along with a nice chunk of amber. Yes. Trey, I go to the meta store, buy us sometimes just look. We used to have one on Main Street. It was our own little slice of metaphysical heaven. But the lady that was running it got too old to be able to run it anymore, so it's closed. We used to go in there and she had this big, huge treasure chest with just loose stones in it. And she'd let you go in there and just take handfuls of them for like $3 or $4. That's how most of the just raw rocks that we have in the other bedroom, most of them came from that store. So yeah. Very cool. Look. Yeah. They called it porcelain jasper. I've heard of picture jasper, but never porcelain jasper. It's really cool. Have a softball-sized agate slice that I put in a halogen lamp behind to use as decorative. We have a giant piece of rose quartz that we use as a doorstop. Nice, yeah. Yeah, doorstop is a 10-poundish piece of rose quartz. It's right here. It's literally a huge chunk of rose quartz that we use as a doorstop. I'll go put that back later. Before we get started going through the music, Celestial Seasonings Black Cherry Berry. I have to kind of slow down on buying new tea and use up some of the stuff that we have because we have a giant pile of tea boxes back there. So it might be a little while before I get a chance to try something new unless I get, a sample like this. But I love this one. Out of all of the ones in that sample pack, the black cherry and the wild berry, those are just awesome. Yes. Yes, she pulled that rose quartz out of a farm field when she was back home in Missouri. Also have a giant pile of tea boxes. A lot of people that I know seem to do that. All right. Now that it's been almost 20 minutes and I haven't even actually started talking about the actual topic of the video, we'll get into that. And like I said, these are not going to be just Chinese, and they're not all going to be rock and metal. People seem to be kind of surprised when I will listen to Mandarin and Korean pop music or something besides the normal rock and metal. I am a metalhead. I do not deny that. And there will be a fair bit of rock and metal here. But there will also be things that people don't expect. And, hey, why the hell not? We'll start with unexpected. We will start with Babymetal. Babymetal is a Japanese metal band. It's cute. It's 3 Japanese girls that like to dress in costume. And while the music itself, the band behind them are decidedly heavy, the lyrics are not. Yeah, I figured at least one person. Trey, Babymetal, yes. I figured at least someone would be aware of Babymetal. Just for fun. That's the 3 lead singers of Babymetal. They went on tour with Rob Zombie. Yes, they did. And people tried to talk shit because Rob Zombie took a picture and posted it to his Facebook. And people were like, oh, that's not metal. And he's like, bitch, these 3 girls rock harder than you will ever experience in your life. So just shut up. They recently did a song with Electric Callboy that I am not a fan of, but people seem to think is one of the greatest things in the world. I didn't really care for it, but, whatever. The first song that I think I remember hearing was Gimme Chocolate. I'm going to try to remember to put links to the songs that I actually suggest in the description so that people can go down and listen. But yeah, Babymetal, Gimme Chocolate. a lot of the lyrics are kind of nonsense, but it's really catchy. It reminds me of, like, if you took Metallica or Megadeth or something like that and combined them with the Care Bears and you put that together, that's kind of Babymetal. It sounds it has its own distinct sound. I don't really know how else to explain it, but yeah, look them up. Look up Gimme Chocolate. Look up, oh, geez. They did a song a while back, and I cannot remember. Accurate description. Well, yeah. They did another collab recently, and I cannot remember what it was, and that's going to drive me nuts until I remember. But I was driving once in my old Pontiac car with the windows down because it was kind of early spring, and I was listening to Babymetal. I pulled up next to this car at one of the stoplights with this kind of, cutesy Japanese music playing. And the person in the next car looked over, looked back forward, then looked back over again. Completely missed the light turning green because they're just staring at me like, what the hell are you listening to? Like I said, people seem to be remarkably surprised when they actually hear the things that I listen to. And along that vein is my absolute favorite Mandarin pop singer. Yes, I listen to pop music. And Chou is an amazing artist. This man can hit a high note that it like rivals the squee of Dawn. He can hit that note and sustain it that will make your brain literally explode out of your ears. He has done a fair bit of acting. If you have seen the Green Hornet movie, he played Kato in that movie. And I also think he might have contributed a song to the soundtrack. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yes, vocal range is insane. Beautiful falsetto, yeah. Look up, I want to say the song itself is called Fearless. The song that he did for the Jet Li movie Fearless. That was the first time I heard that falsetto, and I was convinced that wasn't him singing. That it was someone else. But you can also look up Unrivaled. Actually, it might have been Unrivaled that he hit the falsetto note. So I'll try and throw both of those. He was also in Now You See Me Too, and I know for a fact that he contributed a song to the soundtrack because the song that plays during the credits of that movie, that's him. So unrivaled and fearless. I could talk about Chou just himself for probably an hour, which is another one of those things. When people hear me listening to, Mando pop and Canto pop, they don't expect it. But he has an amazing voice. It's almost haunting. He does ballads. He'll do a little bit of like kind of new metal rap stuff. And he can act. I won't say much for, his fashion sense and some of the concerts I've seen, because we'll just bring this one up. That's one of his concert pictures. Very rhinestones. Very sparkly. Yeah. But he can most definitely sing. And if we're going to talk about actors that can also sing, I have to mention the man himself, Jackie Chan. A lot of people are not aware that Jackie Chan can sing. At least not people over here in the US. He has done concerts. If you go back and watch a lot of his early Hong Kong movies, the theme songs to those movies are songs that he has done. He did the theme for Drunken Master 2. He did the theme for The Myth. Started with Babymetal, and I just got to learn about US tour dates. Oh, man. Yeah, that's definitely some timing. Heard some of Jackie Chan's songs. They're really good. Yes. Jackie Chan has an amazing singing voice. And a lot of people got a nice voice. Like I said, I have run across people who aren't aware of that, but most of them are here in the States. People in Hong Kong and people over in Asia are well aware of what he can do. So definitely look up The Myth. Definitely look up the theme for Drunken Master 2. They're both really... Doesn't do all... Well, he started when he was a child at the Peking Opera Academy. Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and a couple other people that I can't really think of off the top of my head. So yeah, he started in Peking Opera. So he can also hit some pretty impressive notes that most people, if they've never heard it, they're not gonna, know that he can sing. They just think of him as, oh, that's the guy who was Goofy alongside Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, And there's one song And I can never remember the guy's name. And that's probably something that I should have looked up before we even started. Now, I only know of this one song. It is also Mandarin pop music. But the song itself, if you ever want to do Mandarin karaoke, this is the song that you want to try it with. And it is called Fairy Tale by Michael Wong. I am well aware that I am not a great singer. But this song, I can do this song. And I have serenaded certain people with this song completely by accident. I'll be singing along in here, and she'll be back there in the bedroom, and I will get so into the music that I kind of hyper focus directly in front of me, and she'll come up behind me and be standing right behind me while I sing this song, and I won't notice that there's anyone there because I'm just so hyper focused on this song. It's an amazing song. So definitely look that one up. But come on. You're here for rock and metal. So, Mongolian throat singing. If you've never experienced it, as soon as this video is over, I want you to look up a band called The Who. But not WHO Who. It's HU Who. I'll bring this up. These guys right here. Mongolian throat singing. With traditional and modern instruments. Look up Wolf Totem. Look up UAUAU. I first found The Who because of another reaction channel that I listen to called Metalhead Reacts. He did a reaction to UAUAU, and the minute I heard that song, I was hooked. And they have released 2 albums now, not to mention they did a song for Star Wars Fallen Order, I want to say, called Sugan Asena. They also did a cover of a Metallica song that Metallica loved so much that they put it on a cover album. These guys introduced me to other Mongolian throat singing bands. Yeah. Dan loves The Who. Trey loves The Who. Donna. Song of Woman. Oh my God, dude. Did you hear the version that they did with Lizzie Hale? Because if you haven't, listen to it. Listen to that one. Listen to Wolf Totem that they did with Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach. Man. Like that one too, yeah. Have I seen Cooking with the Who? Of course. I subscribed to their YouTube channel right after UAUAU came out. I subbed to their YouTube channel, so I get all the updates. And they're just an amazing band. They're really, really awesome, down-to-earth kind of people. And from what I've seen, they're just genuinely good people. They've gone on Whack-In' Air Festival. If I ever get a chance, and this just kills me. They were actually in Utah last year, I think. And I'm just too poor to go to these things. But if I ever get a chance to see them, and I mean really have a chance, where I actually have enough disposable income to be able to afford a ticket, you better believe I'm going. Just yesterday, day before, they posted an hour and 10-minute long live performance video. And I'm pretty sure they released that as a preview to releasing the album from that live performance. It just came out. So if you haven't seen it, I will throw that down in the links too. And to go along with The Who, we're going to go from Mongolia to India. This one is for Kate. A couple years ago, she bought me this. Bloodywood. Yes, that is the name of the band. You can see it right there. They are an Indian metal band. I first heard about these guys because of the original music video for GB Day. They did a video about mental health called GB Day, which means fly brave one in Punjabi, I believe. I think it's Punjabi. And the song is about not letting the traumas of your life force you to kill yourself. It's telling you, keep fighting, keep going. And at the end of the original video, they mentioned that they personally bought sessions with therapists that they were giving away to people for free. GB Day is an amazing song. Endurant is an anti-bullying song. This album there's a song on here called Yad. And Yad is about losing a pet. I'm going to try and do this without getting emotional, but I'm probably going to fail. A few years ago, we lost one of our dogs. And it was the first time that I really had to experience losing a pet. Most of my childhood, I'd had fish, goldfish, because of my mother's allergies. I never really got to have an actual pet. And that song, the day that we buried our dog, I came home and listened to that song. And it's a good song. And there's another Bloodywood fan. Yes. Machi Basad's a good song. I'm not going to discount Machi Basad, but GB Day, Endurance, I mean, that whole album is amazing. And it's not, you don't have to understand the language to understand what they're saying. But The Who and Bloodywood both put subtitles in their videos, and it's the band themselves that puts the subtitles up. So you know that those are the correct translations to the songs. But they also are just good people. Paying for therapists and just giving them away to people and be like, here, you need this. Take it. That is crazy. I think they've done a couple cover songs, I think. They started out as like a cover band, as like a parody band. There's a song, and I'm not trying to be a dick. There's a song out there called Tunak Tunak Tun. The original song, it's just fun. It's kind of funny. I have no idea what they're saying, but it's a fun song to just kind of dance to. And Bloodywood did a cover. And that cover kind of introduced them, people heard that and they're like, oh, hey, we're going to check these people out. And they had never done anything original. They had just done covers. And so people were like, hey, what, where are your original songs? And they're like, oh, we don't have any. It's like, well, we're going to change that. So they went out and did a full album. And last I heard, they're working on a second one. They're working on a second album. The Who has already come out with a second album, which I have. Not physical copies of. I have digital copies of both the Gereg and the Black Thunder, I think was the second one. Yeah, it was Black Thunder. I showed Bloodywood to Kitty, and she was all about it. And that was even really before they had announced that they were making a full album. They had just done GB Day and Endurant. She was, yeah. She really, really seemed to enjoy. Yeah, see? when you try and tell people about this band, you're like, oh, have you heard of this Indian metal band called Bloodywood? And they're like, you mean Bollywood? No, I don't. The band is called Bloodywood. Look it up. It's a real thing. Well, Foxy says it's good music, and it really is. It's not something that, unless you're looking for it, it's not something that a lot of people are going to find, which is kind of the whole reason I'm doing this. I want to be able to introduce people to things they've never heard before. Kind of sounds like, at least as far as the Who and Bloodywood is concerned, people are more aware of them. But if there are people watching this in the future, or people who are not aware of these bands, please go look them up. Give them the attention that they deserve. Because these people are busting their asses. They are touring and doing all of the things, but they're not as well known as, some of the, I don't know, Taylor Swift or something. I don't know. Yeah, Foxy likes Heilung, and Heilung is kind of reminds me of the Who a little bit, with the really deep singing. And it's true, I'm not as much of a fan, and I'm pretty sure they're not Asian, but if you have other things, other bands that you want to mention in the comments, please feel free. If you think you can introduce me to something that I'm not aware of, feel free. Give it, We have one last band. As far as I know, they have only done one album. And I have it. And let me tell you, it was not easy to find. I first found this band through a compilation album. I want to say it was called Gods of Thunder Volume 7. And they have a song called There Was Never Truth. Or at least that's the translation that I found when I was searching the band, God of Resurrection, that's what it was. God of Resurrection Volume 7. I was messing around one day on YouTube, and I just decided to look up, Chinese metal. Because up until that point, everything Asian that I had experienced was pop music or rap. So, just searching for Chinese metal, and I come across this right here. The Last Successor. God of Resurrection, Volume 7. If you take these characters, and you run them through Google Translate, you will come up with a translation that says there was never truth. And that's how I first found out about The Last Successor. And then I found out that they had a full album of songs. And I actually had to go on eBay and find someone overseas who was selling Asian copies or Asian albums that you cannot get over here in the States. And that's how I got this. As far as I know, this is the only album that Last Successor has ever done. We have the list of songs on the back, all in Chinese. We have a removable front. Normally the CD would be in here, but I took it out. We have a little calendar from 2010. I don't know if you can see that. That's from 2010. You have the lyrics to all of the songs, also in Chinese. I've had this probably since 2011, somewhere around there. There Was Never Truth is not on that album, but they have a ballad called See Jasmine Again. The video is beautiful. The music, I love everything about it. And just like The Who, The Last Successor uses traditional Chinese instruments alongside modern metal, guitar, and things like that. So definitely look up There Was Never Truth, but also look up See Jasmine Again, and you get to see the difference. You know, There Was Never Truth is more of a traditional metal song, very low, almost harsh vocals. And then See Jasmine, you get the softer ballad vocals out of it. Halung's giving Foxy goosebumps. It's true. Interesting what you learn about people. And Trey also loves Halung. Good. Have very similar music tastes. That does not surprise me, honestly. But if I have introduced you to something new, cool. Trey started with bands from Japan like Gact. Gact is good. Deer and Grey is good. I've only heard a couple of Blackpink songs, but hey. One thing that people who know me well know is I will give just about anything one chance. I'm not a country person. I'm not really a rap person. Although, there are a couple And not just Asian. There are a couple rap songs that I can listen to. There are very, very few handful of country songs that I will actively seek out to listen. Yeah, why not? We have a few more minutes. Yoko Kanno and the Seatbelts do some of the soundtrack for Cowboy Bebop. That doesn't surprise me. Trey loves those too. Have all those albums. Yellow Magic Orchestra is an Asian synthesizer band from the 80s. Okay. Might have to check that out. In our last few minutes, I got introduced to a Chinese rapper from the first season of Warrior. Now, Warrior is what David Carradine's Kung Fu was supposed to be. Warrior is based on Bruce Lee's original writings for characters in a Chinese Western. And I got introduced to Dwagie, who had a song on the first season Warrior soundtrack called Refuse to Listen. I don't listen to a lot of rap. But that song, when that song came on that episode, my ears perked up a little bit. So that is definitely, if you're into, kind of a new metal rap fusion kind of thing, that's definitely a song to check out. And he's done, obviously, his own other songs that aren't part of the soundtrack that I also have. And that's usually how things happen for me, I will get to hear one song. I will like the one song. So I'll go and research the band more. I will find more songs. It's definitely a journey. And we've pretty much come up on our hour. I don't see any comments that I missed. I hope that I have expanded your horizons a little bit, introduced you to some things that you have possibly not heard before. Hopefully, if people are watching this in the future, people who aren't in the comments, I hope I've introduced you to some things, broadened your horizons. Great show. Thank you. Now got some new music to look up. Good show. Thank you. I'm glad. Music is the language of the soul. It transcends things like different languages. Absolutely. Yes, it does. Obviously, you can check out indiecd.org. You can find me there. You can find Foxy there. You can find almost every person in the comments there. If you need books to read, you need music to listen to, comics, definitely check out Indie CD. You can check me at patreon.com/bladedthesis, spelled just like you see right there. You can also go to the Teahouse store at Bonfire. I'm hoping to put up some more designs sometime. You can also check out my very first published work as an author at our good friend Dan Hollifield's AphelianWebzine.com. Check that out. That link right there is me. My first ever published work. Foxy's is in there as well. Great show, Blade. Definitely gave me some music to look for. I'm glad. Donna says, interesting. Also interesting to find out how many I've heard of before. That really doesn't surprise me. But I'm glad that I've been able to give these bands some attention that I think they definitely need. So I will try really hard to remember to put links down in the description to the songs that I have mentioned today. Next show will be on the 22nd. And I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about. I'm sure something will come up in the next 2 weeks. I am beyond thrilled at all of the people in the comments. I love every single one of you. You are all my sword family. To the people who may be watching in the future, thank you for watching. Share, like, comment, do all the things. I will see everyone in 2 weeks. 再见。